24th of February. I'm here with Shaquille, Gregory. We're going to have a quick professional discussion about arrangement. So we've got your completed arrangement questionnaire in front of us here that you did before half term, about 2 weeks ago. So arrangement is a subjective area of music, which means there's no right or wrong. Okay, and you can have many different arrangements of the same song for different reasons. Okay, so in your own words, what do you think the arrangement is? I know you've answered it here quite well, but just for the purposes of the camera, in your own words, just to demonstrate your understanding of the process.
I reckon an arrangement is basically the way that your song or your piece of music, like how it's going to go, how you're going to compose it. Which way, if it's a song, for instance, like if how the choruses you have to verses, or if you have a break, bridge, so on and so forth.
So you understand that it's a separate process to songwriting?
Yeah.
So for example, when we're preparing for the March TV show, the best thing is to get all the song parts learned, get the chords learned, then get the whole song learned as a group, identify your roles, identify who's doing what, if there's any cues, things like that. And then with maybe 3 weeks to go, then look at the arrangement. Yeah, you can suggest ideas along the way, but make sure you have a good couple of weeks looking at the arrangement, yeah, after you've learned the song, okay? So, you understand how it differs from composition. In your own words, how does it differ from songwriting?
Well, the arrangement obviously differs from songwriting because the arrangement of music is the way that's going to go. Songwriting is something totally different because you're writing your song there. Basically, you're telling the person that's listening the story or whatever you are writing.
So songwriting's like your creative spark.
Yeah, and then the arrangement is just someone else could do like a third ear instead of just. If you listen to your song over and over again, you're going to think that's how it goes. From the outside, someone else could say, no, that doesn't sound right. So that's where it can differ, I think.
Quite right, yeah, fresh ears. Very, very valuable. Good. So why might it be a good idea to have several different arrangements then?
Pardon?
Well, why might it be a good idea to have several different arrangements of the same track?
Because so different arrangements can differ for different people. Like for boys and girls, you can sing at different keys. So I'd say for instance, Billionaire, it's harder for a boy to sing in a high key than a girl because the registers, or some people might not be able to show some people's strengths and not show the weaknesses. There might be different arrangements that everybody's good at and then doesn't show everybody's weaknesses. Different people play at different speeds in different ways. So
yeah, but in terms of, it's not an answer, but in terms of you as the performer, why might you want 3 different arrangements of the same song?
So then I could change it myself if I thought I wasn't up to one of the arrangements of the song as well. In case somebody fell out or anything. Like fell back last minute so they couldn't perform, then it's obviously all around it.
Yeah. Now think about the audience. So let's say you turn for a venue you've never played before. Why is it a good idea to have more than one arrangement prepared?
There might be different type of people in the crowd. I could go to a gig with a full grime set and then there'll be old people and not like it. Then I have to back up on someone so what they can listen to us also. Like it's for their needs as well.
Good. So you're going to experience this in the next few weeks as well. You're going to be hosting an open mic at Finlacky's, which is like a little cafe with a venue room upstairs. It's only small, nice and quaint. It's going to be quite a different crowd to the Ferret. So you'll be getting all your promoting a performing arts event unit ticked off, the evidence for that, but also you'll be performing there as well. So you're going to have to perform in a slightly different way, probably tone it down a little bit, and maybe even sing Hallelujah, something like that. So that'll be a good experience to differentiate between your audiences. So you named quite a few examples of rearrangements. I really liked your answer actually, you really thought about it. You put things like Happy Birthday, All I Want for Christmas is You, Santa Claus is Coming to Town. That's brilliant, no one thought of that. No one thought of it. Obviously you've got Hallelujah there, it's quite a classic example, although not necessarily a full-on rearrangement as such, there's just different versions with fewer verses and slightly different instrumentation. Rearrangement think, strictly speaking, is where you would start with a chorus instead of a verse, in simple terms, yeah? If the original started with a verse and a chorus. Now then, question 6. In your opinion, approximately how long should a pop song last? And how long before the first chorus should be heard? Now you put here, a pop song should be 2, and then you crossed it out. And you put, your song could be as long as you want it to be, and you can put your chorus wherever you want. Now, I really, really like this answer, because it shows that you're thinking about it artistically, okay? That's a really creative answer. But when I've gone over this, I've underlined pop song in my red pen here, because the question is asking about songs that you're going to hear on the radio. You're quite right, you know, your song could be 25 minutes long and have no chorus at all. Yeah? So you're quite right, so I'm giving you a tick, even though I've not marked this out of a certain amount, but I'm giving you a tick because I agree with that. But the question is, how long should a pop song last? Really, you're looking at 3.5 to 4 minutes, chorus in by about a minute. It's a bit different now with SoundCloud and stuff like that, YouTube, Spotify, different industry now. 10 years ago, when we didn't have the internet as important as it is, well, probably more like 20 years ago now. I mean, the internet's been around for a while, but if you go back 20 years, the old cliche was if you send a demo off to a label and the chorus isn't in by a minute, they'll just bing it straight away without even considering it, because people are used to hearing certain things on the radio. Yeah. So question 7: what makes a good chorus? So in your own words, do you think?
What makes a chorus is when you're using any title of your song, when you use like, not repetitive words that are easy to remember, like short little words or little choruses, so you get the little hooks, harmonised ad-libs.
Yeah.
So different things going on, but makes it draws the listener in.
Yeah, you pretty much got it all there. Repetitive, catchy, simple, song title.
Catchy, that was the word I was looking for.
So what else? What would you describe the purpose of the verse?
The verse is like she's always like a song that's like a story really. So your verse is more like you're in depth, like telling you what's going on in the story, like leading you up, so on and so forth. And your choruses are more like what's going on there and now. If you know what I mean. Like your verses lead you up, they're informing you about what's about to happen next in the story.
So it breaks the song up as well, doesn't it? In manageable sections. Gives the chorus some context as well. Allows the chorus to be really simple and catchy. The verses give you the info. So the last question was, how many of the song parts can you name? And you've named absolutely loads, which is brilliant. Some people have named like 1, 2, other than chorus and verse, which I already mentioned. But you've named about 8, 9, 10 now. So you've got bridge, middle 8, intro, outro, chorus, pre-chorus, instrumental, verse, and ramp. Now then, for the purposes of making arrangements simple, intro and outro, you know, 9 out of 10 songs have an intro and outro. Usually, it's just the chorus of the verse, without the words. Yeah. So we're talking about the main lyrical sections here. So I really want to boil this down for you. You'll start noticing these patterns throughout pop music. Yeah. Your pre-chorus, your bridge, and your ramp are all essentially the same thing. Now I suppose you could technically have a bridge after your chorus, but usually that would be some sort of instrumental riff, especially in a lot of forms of rock music or metal music. Will have a really catchy riff that you start off with an intro and then go into a verse, into your chorus, and then back to the riff. Yeah, so a post-chorus doesn't really exist. You'd probably call that an instrumental. So we've pretty much covered all of them then, apart from this middle 8th. So what we're going to do is give you 2 different arrangements here. We've got one idea, which is verse, ramp, chorus, verse, ramp, chorus, verse, ramp, chorus, or some variation on that. And another idea, which is verse, chorus, middle 8, chorus, chorus. And the middle 8 is a one-off section that's radically different to all the other sections.
Like the hand, it's like the hand you've done, when he goes off the middle 8, he goes into that high pitch bit.
Exactly, yeah. That's a classic example of the middle 8. And there's nothing wrong with having verse, ramp, chorus, middle 8, chorus. Yeah, and you can be really creative with your arrangements, but keep the first two thirds really simple. When I released my first few songs on an EP, I was really creative with the arrangement, to the point where people they weren't as accessible as they should have been. You know, maybe
there was too much going on.
Yeah, in terms of where the verses and choruses were.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot going on with the instrumentation, but I think I got that. I think I got that fairly right. It was like an 8-piece band, so there's a lot going on: violins, clarinets, all that sort of stuff. And I think I was quite happy, really, given that it was quite a few years ago, and I hadn't really had much training with that sort of stuff. So it was on the first bash at it, and looking back, I think I did quite well. But the arrangements, I know I let myself down on because I was deliberately creative. So all the musicians loved it, but the ordinary people, they were just expecting verse, rap, chorus, and it wasn't that. It was something different, and it wasn't quite as accessible as it should have been. Yeah. So let your artistic integrity come from your lyrics, and your chord progressions, and your harmony, and the feel, the vibe, the rhythm, all that stuff. Keep your arrangements nice and simple, and your songs will work better. That's the advice I was given. Now I know the angle you want to go down. You still got that fire in your belly, that artistic integrity as well. It says here your song can be as long as you want. Quite right, it can. But if you want radio play, anything over 4.5 minutes, you'll struggle to get on, because you've got adverts to put on and all that sort of stuff. So it's just something to bear in mind, and that is why a lot of artists will do a radio edit and stuff like that, which again is arguably a form of rearrangement. Yeah. Any other questions or comments? You've got some written feedback, which I know you've already gone through here. But any other questions or comments on what we've done? You're pretty happy with it? Yeah. So you can start integrating this into your own work, yeah? You can start doing this for the March TV show as well. So when you've learnt that song fully, I know we rehearsed it earlier on today, and it went really well, even though we only spent about 20 minutes on it. What I want to do is get the parts nailed, get really tight, and then rearrange it. Yeah? It's not just about where the verse and the chorus is artist, it's also to do with the dynamics. So you might want to come in with a really quiet chorus and then pick it up into the verse. Or come in with a really loud chorus and drop down into the verse and build back up. Yeah? Peaks and troughs, if it's that dynamic all the way through, people will lose interest. It's all about the peaks and the troughs, yeah? And because you're doing it with a live band, you've got the ability to be really creative with your rearrangement. Yeah? You happy with all that? Yeah. Any last comments or questions?
No.
Well, I think you've shown a solid understanding of all this. So you outlined arrangement and your strengths and weaknesses at the start of the year as one of the areas you'd like to improve, so I'm really pleased with your knowledge. You'll see, I take it you've already started spotting the patterns, haven't you? Yeah. It's almost laughable, isn't it, how often they come up with these arrangements. Cool, well done. Nice work.